This is the Edexcel P3 Jan 2023 exam. I'm looking at question 4. So question 4 is over here. So it gives you this division question, and you have to get A, B, C, and D in this form here. So we want to make this look like that. Okay. So if you're somebody who learns quite quickly, you can just take a look at my answers already written here for you. If you feel like you already understand this, I'll just scroll down for you. That's A and B, and that's it. So for question 4, just pause the video somewhere that makes sense for you. Okay. But if you need a little bit more explanation, question 4. So I used the long division version to work this one out. So number A, we want it to look like this. So first thing you do is you set up your long division, and that denominator needs to be times out. So we have our denominator was x plus 3 squared. So the way that I times it out was I just say x squared plus 2 3x's. There's 2 3x's here, so plus 6x and plus 9. Okay, so I times that out. That's just this expanded. Okay, so once you've expanded, you know what you need in order to do the division. So that goes on the outside. That's what you're dividing by. And then you set up this thing. Okay. Oopsie. So you're dividing by that each time. And inside you put the numerator. So the numerator is 2x4 plus 15x3 plus 35x squared plus 21x, oh, running out of space. Okay, minus 4. So this is what we want. We're dividing this by this. Okay. So how do we do it? Well, it's good old-fashioned DMSB. Same thing, only you divide by the x squared term. So every time you divide by the x squared term. Okay. So it's just this, it's just, let me put this underneath. It's just, you know what? I'm going to give myself even more room for this. Anybody who's using Windows, how to stretch out the middle thing. It doesn't want to. Take a look at this. Nope. Nope. Minutes of my life. Okay. So D, F, S, B. So this just for those of you who are like me and need to follow some sort of system. So the first step is to divide. Divide by the x squared term. Just keep this here to check that I'm not making random mistakes. So x squared, sorry, 2x4 divided by x squared, it gives us 2x squared. So if you were to reverse that, 2x squared times x squared will give us the next step, which is multiply. Multiply, we get 2x4. It should always be the same thing, otherwise it won't work. Okay, this one doesn't need any placeholders. Just when you do this, very common error, make sure you have, for example, if you didn't have an x3 term, just say plus 0x3, okay? Or leave a space, but make sure that you leave a space for everything when you're setting this up. This one is perfect. There's no problems here. So now we times 2x squared by 6x. 2x squared by 6x gives us 2x squared. What am I doing? Sorry. I am still looking at this, and I see an error here. Okay, but anyway, So multiply 2x, 2 times 6 is 12. So that's the kind of error that I make when I teach. Can't talk and write at the same time. So good to know. Take x3. Okay. 2x squared, we're still doing the multiply, times by 9 gives us 2 times 9 is 18. And it's just x squared. So we've done the multiplies. Now we subtract. Remember, you're subtracting this whole thing. So we're taking 2x4 minus 2x4 is 0. So those cancel out. And then we say 15 minus 12x3s is going to be 3x3s. And then 35 minus 18 x3s is 17, excuse me, x squareds. Last step, bring down. We bring the next one down, and we're going to end up with, 21x plus 21x. Okay, let me start the process again. So we've done this process once. So I'm going to just add ticks as I go. So now we go divide again. Divide the x squared term into 3x3. So we should end up with 3x. Good. 3x times that should be 3x3. Same thing. Has to be the same for it to work. Okay. 3x into, we're going to multiply. 3x into times by 6x. 3 times 6 is 18x squared. And multiply the next one. 3x squared times by 9 should be 23 times 9 is 27. 27x. And we bring down, oh, nope, we don't bring down yet. Keep with the program. We subtract. Okay. Subtracting these, 17 minus 18 is negative x squared. These obviously cancel out straight away, so negative x squared. Don't forget that it's minus 21 minus 27 is going to be a negative 6x. Okay, so last step, bring down the minus 4, and we do this whole process once more and see if we have a remainder. We will usually have a remainder because of the way they've set it up. So divide the x squared term and you get negative 1. Okay. Negative 1 times that is going to be negative x squared, same thing. So negative 1 times everything is just negative. So all the signs just change. Okay, so divide, multiply. Next step, subtract. Subtract this whole thing. And as you can see, the first two cancel out, but we do end up with minus 4. Oh, so I have something wrong here. Oh, sorry. 1 times 9 is, I did negative 1 times 9, and I got 4 for some reason. Should be 9. So we end up with A5. That's correct. I agree with my original thing there. Okay, so this is our remainder, but they want us to write it in the correct form. So normally, you know, you would kind of write remainder 5 back when we did this in grade 6 or whatever. So this, from here, I would just take the form that they want. So I'll first write down what we've got as our answer. So our answer when we did our division was 2x squared plus 3x minus 1, remainder 5. So we can't divide further. If it goes further, just nothing will happen. And they want it in the form f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So this is in the correct form. We can immediately see that that's a, that's b, that's c, and this is D. So straight away you can write it, but let's just put it in the form before we finish. So 2x squared plus 3x minus that plus 5 over the denominator, which was the original denominator. 5 bits of this, okay? 5 divided by the same denominator as we originally had. Okay, so that's the answer, but they want you to write the ABCD. We just find the constants A, B, C, and D. So you just write A equals 2, B equals 3, C equals minus 1, and D equals 5. And that would Fine, that would finish off your answer. Okay. Number B is asked, hence find the integral of the function. So we have to integrate f of x. Oopsie. So obviously our f of x was 2x squared plus 3x minus 1 plus 5 over x plus 3 squared. So we just have to integrate this. Okay. Take a look at the first thing I always do is I move this up. So 2x squared plus 3x minus 1 plus 5x plus 3 to the minus 2. So the exponent is negative in the numerator. This we can integrate quite easily. It's not too complicated from there. First one, you plus 1 there, and then divide by the new amount. Okay, so let's do it. So it'll be 2x3 over 3 plus 3x2 over 2 plus, just to keep the pattern going, I'm going to go minus 1x1 over 1, just for those who are still struggling with that. This last one has to use the chain rule. So the 5, be plus 1 to the negative 2. So it'll be plus 5x plus 3. Plus 1 to the negative 2 gives you negative 1. Negative 2 plus 1. Divide by the new power, negative 1. And you times by the first derivative of the function inside the bracket. You times by the first derivative of the function inside the bracket. So just to clarify that, the first derivative of this would be 1. Okay. So just to see what's going on there. It's not hard to do it once you're used to it, but sometimes my students forget and never forget to see. It's like a whole easy mark. Okay. Then you just have to clean this up. And when you clean it up, it ends up looking like this one on the right, which is the correct answer. Good. That's I think that was question 4. Finished.